So we got to go ahead and talk about this whole situation involving Dame Dash issuing a $300 million lawsuit against Cameron. Now, this was posted on his Instagram, which I believe this was like an excerpt from the email, where it says formal demand for $300 million in damages, defamation, tutorials, interference, business disparagement, harassment, conspiracy, and unjust enrichment. Dear Mr. Giles, this office represents Damon Dash, Raquel Horn, and the Dash Group. Please be advised that this letter constitutes a formal demand for immediate corrective action and compensation arising from your unlawful actions. 1. Defamation of Damon Dash. You made repeated public statements, including on Instagram, falsely calling Mr. Dash a liar and undermining his credibility in connection with Bosses Take Losses and other business dealings. You admitted on video that the entire situation was a lineup, hereby or thereby conceding participation in reputational sabotage. These actions interfere with Mr. Dash's business negotiations, including Rockefeller and Jay-Z. Defamation and harassment of Raquel Horn. You published social media posts falsely stating that Damon Dash owns nothing and that all assets are in Mrs. Horn's name. You disparaged Ms. Horn personally, causing humiliation, reputational harm, and emotional distress. Disparagement of the Dash Group. By publicly attacking Mr. Dash's ownership, interest, and credibility, you damaged the Dash Group's reputation and interfered with its ability to conduct business. This constitutes business disparagement and fortuitous interference with prospective economic advantage. Attacks on family. You made statements about the ownership of Mr. Dash and Ms. Horn's residence. You made comments that forced Mr. Dash to involve his son Christian Dash, causing him discomfort. You attempted to pay Damon Dash II $5,000 to appear on your show for the purpose of embarrassing his father, despite knowing the sensitive nature of their relationship. 5. G5 Pink Mink Cannabis Deal. Mr. Dash introduced you to Larry Smith for the purpose of pursuing a cannabis venture, including the proposed Pink Mink strain. You went behind his back and pursued the deal directly, cutting him out entirely. This constitutes misappropriation of business opportunity, bad faith, and unjust enrichment. Dipset Clothing Company. Mr. Dash co-founded the Dipset Clothing Company with the expectation of a 50-50 ownership structure. He funded production, created samples, and financed promotion and content. You excluded him from ownership and profits in breach of agreement and in unjust enrichment of yourself. Pattern of historic sabotage. Years ago, you prematurely announced confidential Rockefeller business conversations, damaging Mr. Dash's relationship with Jay-Z and the Rockefeller team. While the statute of limitations may bar a standalone claim, these acts demonstrate a long-standing pattern of malicious intent that continue to this day. Damages. As a direct proximate result of your conduct, the plaintiffs have suffered reputational harm, emotional distress, and loss of business opportunities. Damon Dash. Emotional distress and reputational harm. Raquel Horn. Business disparagement and financial interference. The Dash Group. Collectively, the damages are estimated at $300 million. Demand. Accordingly, our clients hereby demand that you, within 14 days of receipt of this letter, cease and desist from making further false, defamatory, or disparaging statements regarding Damon Dash, Raquel Horn, or the Dash Group. Remove all defamatory posts and issue a full public retraction and apology on Instagram, YouTube, and any other platforms where statements were made. Provide a full accounting of all revenue and profits derived from the Dipset Clothing Company and the G5 Pink Mink Cannabis Venture, and remit to Mr. Dash his rightful ownership interest. Compensate plaintiffs in the amount of $300 million. Preserve all evidence, including social media posts, videos, communications with Larry Smith, business records related to Dipset clothing and cannabis deals, texts, emails, and direct messages. And this was the last message he sent to Cameron. Now, if you go back and read the caption where it says, "I never hustled with Mr. Cameron. He's a civilian, but he's blank with my family, office, and now made my wife and 2 sons uncomfortable. I would never do anything violent, and I don't want anyone that loves me to do anything violent, so this is the only way I can handle this. This is my version of how the Godfather handled Fredo. I knew it was going to be one of my brothers. I just didn't know it was going to be you, bro. And that does make me sad. We'll just have to let a judge decide like businessmen. And I don't find it funny. I hope you don't have any houses in your name. They're about to be mine. And Big Fendi TV, I do forgive you because I do consider you my brother. Never let any man go with your family, wife, or kids. Protect them at all costs. I bet you'll shut the fuck up now. I dare you to say something. Dame is the one who fired the first shot. You can't go out of your way to do interviews and then out here get surprised when Cameron responds and then you get mad at his response to issue paperwork. No, that's not how this works. He has a right to clap back, just like you have a right to sit on somebody else's platform and try to say, oh, Cameron was in the backseat of a car crying, which I find that hard to believe. And ever since then, Cameron has spoke about this whole thing even further, stating that, you know, his relationship between him and Dash is at a point of no return. And he's even stated that this all stemmed from him not picking up the phone. And because he didn't pick up the phone, Dame decided to run to the internet for sympathy, which is absolutely mental and insane that he is at his big age, in his 50s or almost 60, I guess, acting this way. I just don't think you can go out of your way to sue somebody for defamation when you're the one who fired the first shot. That don't make a lick of sense. At this point, I'm convinced Dame has some type of undiagnosed midlife crisis he's going through, and that's why he's behaving this way on the internet for the world to see. It's very sad at the end of the day. But with that being said, y'all let me know what you think about this mess in the comments below. Till next time, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.